Hello, I'm Jamie McEwan,
Hello, I'm Gregor McEwan.
and welcome to the McEwan Brothers podcast.
Here we discuss life, comedy, money, and much more, not only with us but with guests.
So have a listen, hopefully you'll learn something, and if not, you'll at least have a giggle. And hope you guys enjoy. Peace out.
Can you hear me all right, by the way?
Yeah?
Yes, very good.
You just have to cut that bit out.
Yeah. It's fine.
That's going to make the intro. Can you hear me?
Hello and welcome guys to the McEwan Brother podcast, episode 3. And today we have a special guest for ourselves. Gregor, do you want to introduce our new guest?
Yes, of course. Hello, I am very pleased to welcome James Nash to the podcast.
Hello. Hello.
Hi James, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, how you kind of know us, and then we'll get started.
Cool. Yeah, I'm James. I'm English, first of all, not Scottish. From northeast of England, but I went up to Edinburgh for uni. Me and Gregor went to Napier, and I think we met like the second lecture,
Something like that. I remember
really
that
early
day.
on.
Yeah, I remember it was in the Big Egg, I think.
It was. That's probably, to be honest, it's probably the most important thing that's ever happened to me. Because without that meeting, I would never have met Jamie.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's a significant part of my life, to be honest.
I find a lot of people say that to me. I'm an inroad to Jamie.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's good to go.
So thank you for coming and being on.
Glad you're here. And you even got a haircut for it.
It was just for this, purely to impress you guys.
Perfect. So this week's episode's obviously from it last week. We talked about America, everything that we did on our trip. And James, you've been to New York as well in America?
Yes, 2 planned trips to New York. I've only been once, which I'll expand on a bit later.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you had 2 planned trips. Jimmy, where do you want to take it next?
So I think we'll just start off we'll just basically about our week. I think we'll start off with basically our week. What's our highlight of this week? We always do like a wee catch up at the start. So Gregor, highlight of the week.
Highlight of the week for me was I had a really good training session with work, which was very insightful and got a lot from it. So yeah, taking that into following weeks and progressing with work. So yeah, I enjoyed that.
Perfect. James, you got a highlight of the week for yourself?
All the weeks just sort of blend into one at the minute.
Yeah, you should see your haircut.
Yeah, it probably was, to be honest. I was probably the best thing. Yeah, that's my highlight, getting a haircut.
Jamie, what was your highlight?
My highlight of the week will be the snow coming, and I bought a snowboard about 2 months ago, thinking I was going to buy it to sell it on, make a wee profit. Ended up keeping it, and it's been the best sledge I've ever had.
I remember saying you tried to stand up on it, but you couldn't because it's not got the the shoe.
Still got the
binding.
Yeah. So for the bindings on the snowboard, it's just not got. I didn't buy it. It didn't come with that when I bought it. It was just like a snowboard, but it was so cheap. It was £250.
How much?
£250 down to £25.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Unbelievable. I thought I'll buy that and just sell it on for a wee profit.
Yeah.
But,
and you haven't been able to.
Nope. Anyway, we'll move on to the first topic and the main topic for this week, America. Gregor?
Yeah, so I guess last week we touched on that we met up in New York, me and you, Jimmy, in 2019, which was good, and we started to discuss a bit about our trip and key highlights. I mean, what we want to focus on, I guess, for us, having the guest on, James, we've done a wee bit about our trip in New York so far, and we're going to progress on to the other cities that we visited. But New York is such a big, vast place, and you've attempted to go there twice, but only made it once. Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, so the first trip must have been 10 years ago now, I think, which I actually did go on, and it was just me and my dad. we're only supposed to be there, supposed to go there 4 or 5 days just to, you know, visit the sites and go to a baseball match and that sort of thing. But do you remember the volcano that went off in Iceland?
Okay.
Yeah.
It sort of spewed out ash clouds and grounded all the flights.
So
So
Yeah.
that affected you then?
yeah, our return flight was cancelled.
Jeez.
So British Airways, or actually, can I name names?
Yeah. I mean,
Other
we're not the
airlines are
BBC.
available. What?
We're not the BBC.
Yeah. But other airlines are available, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Yeah. Although probably not after this pandemic, but anyway. Yeah, so our return flight was cancelled. So we got put up in this hotel, and we ended up staying another 7 days. So our 4-day trip was actually 4 plus 7 is 11 days. So that was pretty good.
That's nearly the length that we spent in the whole of America.
Yeah. But by the time we had done 11 days, we had done probably about a couple of thousand miles traveling.
So, like, I mean, that's quite a good situation to be like, okay, you've got extra time. But did you know you had 11 days, or was it just like every day was just, I don't know?
No, every day we just didn't know what was going to happen next. But it was good because we got put in another hotel with sort of other people that were in a sort of similar situation. And we just, you know, met loads of people and probably did things that we, you know, wouldn't have had a chance to do. So yeah, it was good. And I got to miss a week of school as well.
That's not-
So
Quid in.
the best holiday ever.
Yeah.
So did the airline reimburse you at all, or what happened? And did you get a new flight booked, or did you have to sort it out yourself?
To be honest, they were really, really good. So they paid for the hotel and they paid for, I think it was like 2 meals a day. So that was pretty good. Obviously, you know, the stuff that we did, like we went to another baseball game, obviously that wasn't paid for. But yeah, they were really, really good, to be honest.
Yeah. That's one thing me and Gregor never actually got an opportunity to do when we were in America. We thought, go see a baseball game, or, you know, something on the lines of baseball, basketball, something like that. How was that?
Well, baseball is just like a fancy rounders, isn't it? But it was it was good because, you know, just the food over there is just like it's so different to what it is here. Like, have you ever had I think they call it an ice cream sandwich, where it's just like a cookie, then like a slab of ice cream, then another cookie. Like you'd
Yeah.
never hear, but over there, like everyone was, yeah, it was good.
For me and Gregor, we did like, I think me and Gregor were walking so much and going everywhere. Did you find you were like on your feet constantly when you were going about?
Yeah, yeah. Because did you ever go on the subway by any chance?
Yeah. I mean, I think you have to in New York. You need to maximize the use of them.
Definitely.
What did you think of that?
It's a learning curve. I think for basically when we finished off, when talking about the last episode, when I came in, I got a bus into New York, and then from there, I just had to find the hotel that me and Gregor were going to, and just all of a sudden being like, I've got a suitcase, a big heavy suitcase. I've been here for 3 months, and I've got a big rucksack as well. I'm like, where on earth do I need to go? Where do I go? What subway? What numbers? And I think it was really a challenge.
The subway, people are like quite. There's a lot of strange people on the subway. Or you
It's scary,
meet,
isn't it?
yeah. I don't know. You must have been quite young when you went then, Jen.
It must have been 10 years ago, so 14.
Yeah, that's
So
yeah. So going on the subway with all these strangers, and especially in New York where there's a wide range of different types of people. So yeah, but I mean, it's so easy to get about. That's what I found. Hop on and off. It's good.
We went to a Yankees game, and I had everyone was in blue and white because they're the colors of the Yankees. But I was wearing my LA Angels top, which is like red, and it's quite good over there because you can mix fans and you won't really get beaten up. But unexpectedly, the Angels won, and when we went on the subway to go back, and I was wearing my bright red top, I thought I'm gonna die here. But yeah, I managed it.
Was it really busy then on the subway after games? Obviously.
It's like the tube, yeah.
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 God. Yeah, that must have been quite scary.
Yeah, it was.
I think the impression New York gives is that it's quite scary, and it is in places. But I think the example from, well, as I was saying to Gregor in the last episode about the guy, a guy came up to me and says, "Look, told me that you lost. Where are you going?" And then directed me in the right direction to get to the hotel. What subways? So there's a mix of different people.
Yeah, definitely a mix. So I guess from us, we had quite a lot of like highlights of places we went to in New York. So for example, we went down to Brooklyn Bridge. I went to the wee kind of Dumbo stop to get that famous photograph across the Brooklyn Bridge. I absolutely loved seeing those highlights and those kind of experiences. Was there anything that you thought sticks in your head, James, that you remember?
I guess, yeah, I did enjoy the baseball game. For me, it was the Empire State.
Yeah. Did you go up it or did you just?
Yeah, we went up. On hindsight, we should have gone up is it the Chrysler building?
Yeah, the Chrysler. To be fair, I think now there's more and more buildings you can go up to the top and view like the whole skyline of New York. Me and Gregor went up.
The new Twin Tower building, wouldn't you?
We went. What was the one we went up, Gregor? Again, I can't remember the name of it. Mute.
It's gonna be hard to edit all these bits. So, yeah, was it not the One World Trade Center? Something along
That's
those
it.
lines. So we went up that, and
That would have been pretty.
so good. Just to get that high up in this building that you just would never experience before. It's kind of hard to believe that you're like, these buildings exist that high up, or you're that.
I know. Again, you just don't have that here, do you? Just
No.
go to Liberty Island.
No.
No.
So we got the Stassen Ferry, the free one that just goes out and then turns around and comes back.
Oh.
We got told the ferries across to the island and seeing it where I got told from people when I was at camp said that it's not worth it. They just like get the Staten Island ferry, it's free, get on it, go to the other side, look at the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, that's it. And then just come back. So have you got a different viewpoint on that?
No, to be honest, I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't even get that because just going past it on the ferry and, you can get like a good picture of the Statue of Liberty there, and then you got obviously Manhattan in the background. That's probably the best. So yeah, probably right.
Yeah.
So you go to the island.
Yeah.
The island.
You can also go to the one next to it, which the name escapes me. It's got a history of sort of immigration.
Yeah, I can't remember.
No, I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
One of the things me and Gregor did, so when we were talking about, you talk about food and you see like the food over there is different, but I don't know if you've heard of the YouTuber Casey Neistat.
Yeah.
Me and Gregor watched him for many years and stuff. I'm sure you probably have been in the flat with Gregor and stuff, seen him, and he talks about the dollar pizza. So one of the things me and Gregor wanting to find is somewhere where we can get like $1 piece of pizza, because it's not like here where you get a wee slice and it's just, their slice is a piece of pizza, as a whole pizza. So I wonder did you find any places that you found that were like that you were like, oh, this is amazing? Or
yeah, so the first night we went to what's it called, Hollywood? No,
nah, it's not ringing a bell.
I can't remember. It's something Hollywood, and you just got this. Well, it was just like a normal sized plate, but I ordered ribs, and the ribs were sort of double the size of the plate. And I don't think I like my food.
Yeah.
But I didn't finish a third of that. It was enormous. But the other one was, which I think you went to, was it Ellie's Stardust Diner or something? Did you go to
Yeah,
that?
the diner. Yeah,
That I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, the Stardust with the
Tables and yeah.
and they're singing and
Yeah.
dancing on actual
Yeah.
on. Yeah, that's amazing.
no, that was definitely a really good. It's a good experience because it just shows you a bit of the Hollywood sort of style of the actors and people who are obviously trying to become stars. A lot of people actually go to there.
Yeah.
I got told people go there to actually work, and then a producer would come in and go, actually, do you want to be in this show? Things like that happen. So really quite interesting with that. One of the things we went to as well, with a lot of walking, but when it thought about, you have to go to the America's Museum of Natural History. I don't know if did you go in there as well?
Didn't I would have loved to, but no.
Yeah.
What was
It
that
was
like?
feel like Night Museum kind of vibes. You could just picture this filming in there, but yeah, it was. I mean, you could get lost in there very easy, and we did many times.
Yeah, I think we didn't realize how big the building was. But my highlight from that was getting the photo with Dumbo and Gum Gum.
What's that from Ice Age?
No, that's from the film. That's not from anything. That's from the natural. Oh, nah, I'm not even answering that.
No, the character Dumbo is from a film, right?
Yeah.
What film?
What film? What
I
film do you think?
I can't even put two and two together. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What about you guys? Is there anything highlights from you? Any buildings, things we went to that stick out?
I like the building, the vessel, which is like this kind of new structure where it's almost like a hexagon shape, but it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as it gets taller. So you then work your way up, and you go up and down these steps, and you're like, how am I getting like higher across the building? And when you get to the top, you're probably, I don't know, 10 stories up. You get a good view, and you can look right down the middle, almost like an atrium, like down to the middle. You see the people at the bottom, they're just like little ants. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That was. Do you remember taking the photos? You went to one side, I went to the other, and you see me. I've got a slight.
We had a race to the top, didn't we?
Yeah, but I got to a point where it was in my heights, and I was struggling to actually make it to the top. And you've got a photo of me, like clearly just like sitting there, like struggling to get right up the top, because there's gaps and everything, James. It's basically everything's got holes in it, so it's not like an actual clear shell. So the wind and everything goes through it, and it wasn't like it was a wind. It wasn't really windy, but there was a wind up the top.
I'd never even known that, to be honest. Where was that?
Hudson Yard. Yeah, Hudson Yard's kind of. I think it's quite a new development down there. Kind of south of Manhattan.
Yeah,
pretty much near where you get the ferry, like the Staten Island ferry.
Right.
Quite far down the bottom, yeah.
So yeah, I think it's one of those things we just stumbled across. And there were so many things.
Yeah,
Crazy.
just going crazy. And then there was they used it basically. There's old tram, the tram lines. I remember that was turned into a walkway as well.
Oh, like the skyline.
Yeah, the skyline. I don't know if you, James, did you do that? Did you see like the skyline walks?
No, I didn't, to be honest. I would have liked to. Maybe we should go back.
Yeah.
What's really interesting about this is the fact that obviously we and Gregor did quite a bit as well, but you were there for so long and you've seen so much other things. Is there anything from your trip that, apart from obviously the baseball games and stuff, anything you've seen or something that happened, like, there's the street artists, stuff like that? Because me and Gregor have a bit of a funny story when it comes to like one of the street artists people.
Oh, you've got to tell me that.
Yeah. So what happened was we're walking, coming into the square, the
Times
middle,
Square.
Times Square, yeah. Coming into there, and as we're coming in, you've got street artists everywhere doing stunts, doing flips and stuff, and then there's these guys selling CDs, going, "Oh, it's my new track. Like, do you want to get a CD? Get a CD." and they're quite in your face, like proper just trying to get you to. And I went, you know what? Why not? This is quite funny. Like let's get Gregor's going to me like, Jamie, come on, let's just go. Let's go. I'm busy getting like money out to give like a cup, like $2 or something, and the guy's like, nah, come on, like you've got more there, you've got more. And I was like, I just felt pressured because obviously you don't know what this guy's going to be like or anything like that. So I'm sure I ended up giving him $5 for the CD. But it wasn't until we got back home that I was able to put it in anything. Then I've like obviously a CD player out there. And when I came back, put it in, and it's just like blank tracks, like it's like doesn't even words or anything. It's just I was like, that's the best scam I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that. And I'm like walking on, like obviously James being like pulled in by this guy and was like by his arm. I'm turning around and being like, what you doing? Like, come on, let's go. And James, come on, this would be quite good. Let's see, and then get your wallet out. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That guy must have been laughing his head off.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
So James, you made it to New York once. What was the other trip that you didn't make it?
Yeah, so the other trip was it was a school trip, and I can't remember what year 10 maybe.
What sort of age would that be?
That would be S5, I think.
Okay.
I think.
I guess you're like 16 or something.
Yeah, something like that. And I don't know, 30, 40 of us got the opportunity to go to New York. Paid the money, all set to go. And then my teacher the day before we were supposed to leave was just going through, just checking all, everything was in place, all the forms they had to sign, all the money was in. And the esters that you have to buy, like the 10 visa things.
Yeah.
It was, you went down the list, green, and then my name, red. Called me in, called my mum in, and he said, what's going on? Have you paid? Yeah, we paid. We had to ring out. And anyway, what happened was my mum paid the $12, $13, $14 Ester bill, and then got a phone from her bank and said, we've got a transaction from America. Do you recognize it? And my mum being my mum, oh, no, don't recognize that. So the bank says, do you want to cancel it? Yep, please cancel it. So cancelled. And it turns out, obviously I couldn't go to that trip, which was really sort of, I was gutted because it was like the day before. Turns out you can never, ever buy an Ester again if you cancel it. You can.
No way.
In my whole life, you just can't. So my I think it was me and my dad again, my sister, were going to go to Florida the year after, I think. And obviously, because you can't buy an Ester, you have to get like a 10-year visa. So
oh my god.
To the embassy, queue for like 5-6 hours and pay like £500 to get this visa.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I can never ever get an Ester again. And my visa, I think, is due for renewal like next year, something like that.
Wow.
So, yeah. And when I got to Florida, when you have to go through security, he sort of pulled me aside, took me into like this interview room and just was asking loads of questions.
That's
I felt, but yeah, that's my second New York story. So it's jinxed. It's got to be.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Just like one small little mistake or cancellation, and it's caused you a lot of hassle.
That's it for life.
That's crazy.
How did you? I obviously, when I went to America, I had to do the visa process going down to the embassy at London and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually did it in a day, so I got a flight down in the morning, made it to the embassy, did all my process and stuff, and then flew back that day. How did you find the process of like going through the embassy?
To be honest, I think my dad was living in London at the time, so I just sort of, built the trip in whilst sort of staying with him. So that was pretty good. But Yeah, you just queue for ages. Or you sit in a waiting room, don't you? Just for ages.
Yeah,
And there's no, I didn't think there was any signal. So you left just sitting there.
yeah. What I remember is it felt like when when you're a kid and you've got to go to like Clark's to get your shoes, you
Yeah.
just grab you got like a wee ticket. You grab a ticket to like, okay, you're number 455. And
Yeah.
you're just like sitting there, number one.
That's exactly what it did.
So yeah, it's definitely it's an interesting experience. I found it really good going. I ended up going down and meeting a friend, like I didn't not planned at all in the embassy, and I'm like, I've played golf with you, and that
Oh,
was
he's
it.
at the MC as well.
Yeah, and he was just like
Oh
he was just
wow.
he was going across as well to do another thing, and I was just like, so I ended up going and spending the rest of the day with him. So I was quite lucky.
Oh, that's all right.
Um, yeah. What we'll do then is, I think we've talked about Mecca. What about just general life now? Obviously, James, we and Gregor are golfers. We've talked about golf a little bit before. We know that you were getting into it. Jonathan, how's that going? I know you bought a set of clubs and stuff like that.
But yeah, I bought a second-hand pair of irons and a driver and stuff. Couple of years ago now, I think. I don't play enough to sort of get anywhere near your level. But my best score was 87. So that was, I think it was 16 over.
Yeah, that's good.
That was my best ever round. But I don't golf clubs open in Scotland at the minute.
So they currently, obviously, we've got quite a bit of snow and stuff like that, so they're actually closed, but you can, I've been playing for the last like couple of weeks, going up and getting the odd round in, stuff like that. But it's all winter greens and stuff like that. But Gregor, do you want to, obviously you've played with James, I've actually, unfortunately not been a privilege to see his amazing swing and, you know,
No,
skill set. So Gregor?
I remember back in the day, James, at uni, going to driving range, and we're just trying to get started and try and, swing the club and hit the ball. But yeah, when I came down last year during the summer, it was, yeah, impressed. I mean, definitely keep it going, and hopefully we'll get a game together, 3 of us. That'd be good.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Play again. Yeah.
What, sorry?
Podcast 2.0 on the golf course.
Yes, sounds like a plan.
On the course, recording it.
When we went to the driving range, I didn't even use a driver. I was too scared to.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot.
Touch it. Mind you, I still can't drive now, so yeah. Not much.
Yeah.
I mean, breaking 90, considering how long you've played, that's pretty good. And then you had your birdie, right? The first birdie.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're on the way up.
Couple.
Yeah. So only gets better from here.
Absolutely. But yeah, they're all shut at the minute. They've been shut for 2 months, I think. I know
Okay.
it's snowing and it would be winter green, so it wouldn't be the same. But yeah, even driving ranges. All
Really?
shut.
Really? So we've got our local driving range is fully open. They're fully functioning, and our golf courses are all open. A lot of clubs aren't doing visitors, but they're still at least open, so you can go up and play if you wanted.
Is it not limited to like a 2-ball right now, Jamie?
Yeah, it's limited now to a 2-ball. However, you go up and you see all the 70-year-olds, 60-year-olds that are just continually to play 4 balls. You know, the guys that get up at 7:30 in the morning to get around a golfing are still getting up at 7:30 in the morning to get around a golfing.
Yeah, the guys who are like 70-year-old and play off like 5, they're just amazing around the greens. But
Yeah.
I think we're approaching half an hour. So catch you later, guys.
I don't think there's anything else to really talk about. I think it's been good having you on, James. Talk about your stories and everything. Missing a trip, that's a bit of a sore one when it's going to New York. Must have been quite hard when that happened. When you found out.
It was, yeah. It was obviously because I was going with my mates from school. You know, it was a chance just to get away. But yeah, found out the day before, so it was yeah. It's probably especially sad.
So was that would have been like in your like last year of school or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. It was second last, something like that.
Jamie, did you go anywhere in with school? Oh, you did your skiing trips, right?
Yeah, so I've actually been quite lucky enough to do a few. So I did Iceland. So I went to with the science department. So actually, it was supposed to be the chemistry and biology groups that were supposed to be going. Physics weren't supposed to be a part of the group, and I was only doing physics at that point, and really wanted to go on this trip. So I ended up speaking to the teacher who's organising it and says like, "Can I come along? Can I join in? Can I do it and stuff?" She was like, "What classes are you doing?" Told her what classes. She's like, "I will try and fit you in." So lucky enough, I managed to get in to go to do that. And then I did two trips to Italy with the ski group. So they were really good. Yeah, really quite interesting. But
Oh, you've all been to like really adventurous places. In my sixth year, I went to the Yorkshire Dales. went to go and see like stalagmites and stalactites for geography. Best trip ever. Don't know what you're laughing about.
The year above, so our cousins here, Chris and Kaylee and stuff, they actually ended up doing a trip going like scuba diving. So it was like 6 of them went away and did scuba diving, like down like the Dominican Republic area, went all the way down like Mediterranean and did that. But like the trip cost was like, I think it was like $2,500 or something. They had to get together to go, so really expensive. Yeah, but then they also had to pay. They had to go get training, so the training was at the peak for scuba diving, and I think it was 5 or 6 people decided to go on it and do it. So that was quite interesting. Anyway, for obviously we're still currently in lockdown. Everything's a bit dull and bleak, and it's hard to make plans for what your future. But if you were to decide or think where do you want to go next, if choose one place and tell us why, James. Where would you go and where would you be? Why?
I'd choose probably Italy.
Okay.
1, it's sunny. 2, the food. And 3, I think the people are really friendly as well.
Have you been before?
Yeah, Rome.
Okay.
Somewhere southern Italy. Yeah, it was just really, really nice. I definitely, I mean, if there was one place I would move to, like abroad, it would be.
Yeah. Interesting. For myself, I've currently I had a holiday booked last year, which obviously everything going on got cancelled, but instead of just cancelling, I rebooked it for this year. So supposed to be going to Gran Canaria in August, so that's my next place, next hope. All inclusive, everything's paid for, it's all done, dusty, so I don't actually need to worry about anything. Hopefully I can just go in August. So that's my sort of place, and the reason why is it's first time my girlfriend, so Rebecca, are going to all inclusive. She's never really been abroad much. We did Budapest in 2019, but this will be the first all inclusive sort of chilled holidays. Look forward to that.
Nice. So you don't have to buy extra drinks. Perfect.
Yeah, drink as much and eat as much as I want.
That sounds good.
Sounds like you won't need that. Yeah, okay. You won't need that, Jamie, after the amount you've eaten or after lockdown. You know?
Don't tell me about it.
I know. So I'd probably kind of boring, but I want to go and see more Scotland. Maybe like the north of Scotland. Go and see the Outer Hebrides. I think that'd be really good.
Yeah, definitely. James, have you travelled much to Scotland? Are you done?
The most northern point was probably Aberdeen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When we went to visit Callum.
Yeah, so our brother, yeah.
Yeah. I've also been to what's the famous loch called?
Loch Lomond?
Yes, been
Yeah. I remember you
that
saying
was really really nice because I went in the summer and it was just stunning. It really was.
Yeah.
Love to do the 500 round trip.
Yeah.
Have you done that?
Never.
Unfortunately, none of us have done it. I've done the closest I did Sky. I did Ellis Sky last year and did a lot of that, which was amazing. And as similar to Greg, actually, I'd probably say if I was to say apart from the holiday I've got booked, see more of Scotland. There's so much that me and Gregor haven't done. We've always just gone abroad. So
We should do the 500. We should do that.
that'd be really good.
Can all
Let's
buy
hire
like
like a camper van or something.
yeah.
We do. I would say, James, I would say we could do couples, but
He's got his guitar.
I can bring that and the entertainment.
yeah. Anyway, I think what we'll do is we'll round it up here. Thank you, James, for being on this week. Hope you've enjoyed our wee chat and it's been good to hear from you. Gregor, you got any last comments? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, no, thanks James for coming on. First guest. It's been an absolute hoot. And
Thank you for inviting me on, guys.
have
Thanks
you
a
on
lot.
again if you want to.
Oh, I'll check the diary. Yeah.
James, do you have any closing remarks?
That was it, wasn't
Do
it?
you want to say anything to our audience?
I said thanks.
Have you got any inspirational quotes?
Yes. Never back the early kickoff.
Never back the early kickoff.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
That's it. Yeah.
Right,
That's
well,
all I say.
see you next week.
Thank you, guys. Cheers. Bye.